Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started and talk about the loss to Liverpool, man. 4-0. Liverpool, I mean, they're such a class side, and they showed really the level that they're at, and I think this result will probably bring a lot of people back down to earth. Sort of, we've been living on a high the past couple weeks. 10 games undefeated, eight undefeated in the league. I think six wins. So yeah, you have to give credit to the players and to the manager, of course. We have been playing well. Coming up against the likes of Leicester City and Spurs. I think perhaps not too much of a challenge, but when you go into a derby, North London derby, form is sort of not exactly relevant because players tend to be up for it and regardless of that, look, I went into the game pretty optimistic, as you all may know if you've seen any of my videos before. I am very optimistic, almost to the point of ignorance. But I just want to see Arsenal win, and there's nothing really wrong with going in with a positive outlook. Of course, expectations are something different, of course. So, yeah, I thought the first half was pretty good. The obviously free kick that we gave away. I mean, giving away free kick like that, just the fouls and Trent Alexander-Arnold, this guy has sat nav on his foot. He puts the ball wherever he wants, and it was just perfect, the ball that he played in to Sadio Mane. And, Sadio Mane really is going to take that chance, 9 times out of 10, and he did. He put it away, and I think with the exception of that, we played all right. I like the fact that Mikel Arteta went for the 4-4-2 and sort of stuck with his guns. A lot of the players I had, wanted to start the game of Nuno Tavares is the main one. And he started up there, and this is the same team that's been getting us results. So I think you have to, give credit to the manager because, of course, you have Tierney on the bench. Really, really impressive international break from him. I know there's that video going around of him after the penalty save from the Scottish goalkeeper, and he just barrels in there. And it was such a brilliant save, tackle, I should say, from Tierney. So a lot of people were asking for him to start, but it's hard to drop a player on form. And, Tavares, you have to say, was at fault for at least one of the goals. The second time he sort of slipped up with another really, really poor pass. And I think it's just a lapse of judgment. Young guy, coming up against, one of the best teams in Europe, top 5 team in Europe. Obviously, Champions League winner two years ago. So it was a big test for him. I think he's going to learn a lot from the game. There was a video of him being quite dejected, actually, after the game, sort of staying on the pitch. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of water here. So I think a big learning curve for him, for the manager. Also, there's a quote here I'd like to read. Mikel after the game just says, "I don't like learning like that, but there's a lot of learning we can do from the game." He goes on to say, we'll look at what we should have done better and why we got punished the way we did. After that, we'll put our energy and focus on the next game, which is, of course, Newcastle at home. I believe it's Newcastle at home. Newcastle at home. So, yeah, Newcastle also struggling. New manager. Things seem to be on the up for Newcastle, but it's going to be a challenge. Obviously, every team is difficult to play in the Premier League, but home form pretty good. It's 8 unbeaten in 9 in the Premier League. So if you look at it that way, the performances we put together are still pretty impressive for the most part. I think the Leicester City win was really, really good. I mean, one of the best games we've played all season. The best game I think we've played all season. Not much more to say really about the Liverpool game. I mean, it's almost like, it feels like almost we were they're in a different league. It's like, when I was in high school, on the rugby team, we used to play colleges because the high schoolers where I live were just so much smaller than we were, and it sort of felt like that. Like it just seemed like we were playing against a team just out of our league, and you have to say they are. That I know Mikel was talking about how they've been 6 years together, this team, and the cohesion and what their roles are, and I don't think that was an excuse. I think Mikel was just more or less praising them and how far they've come and their success, winning league, winning the Champions League. So yeah, I think we're on our way, man. We got a young squad. this. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter sort of, I think Arteta out was like trending yesterday, and these people are just they can't even be real. I mean, there's people I will listen to, strong critique, and of course there's plenty to critique the manager about, but I think he went out there with a strong side. That's our best side as of now. Players on form. Talk about Odegaard and Kieran Tierney. Odegaard, not much to do when he came on. I think he'll come good. He's shown sparks, I think, the first half of the season. Before he's found himself kind of sitting on the bench. He played well. He finds those spaces, but throwing him in there, I mean, Liverpool had the game won, and they're such a strong side. They really just put their foot on your throat, and fair play to them. They scored 4 past us, and you have to give them credit. They're a fantastic side, man. One of the best sides in the world. So fair play to Liverpool, and this game won't define our season, but a lot to learn, a lot to take from it, and very, very important to get a result next week against Newcastle. I just want to give some praise to Aaron Ramsdale, man. Again, he was so... I mean, this guy is insane. The way... I think I made a tweet about this. I said that he's sort of redefining what it is to be a goalkeeper, like the saves he made. I think that first save, and you saw Mohamed Salah coming in, and the way he sort of hit the ball with almost his forearm and onto his other hand and moved it out of the way. The way he thinks to make a save like that, it's so smart, and it's really, really just... I've never seen a goalkeeper, so what's the word I'm looking for? Just the abnormal saves that he makes, and the reaction saves. He had a couple good saves that game, and really he couldn't save us at the end of the day. But I think one of the saves from Diego Jota, I think perhaps he would have gone to the left of him if he had that chance again. But still, you have to be there to make that save, make yourself big. And this guy is just coming out and showing so much, man. His value it's just insane. I mean, I've said this before. You can see why Sheffield United wanted so much for him, and we even brought that price down. So it's looking like just an absolute bargain. And yeah, he conceded 4 goals, but conceding a goal is comes down to the team. You can't blame a goalkeeper for conceding 4 goals. Even the first goal, he got a hand to it, and sometimes a hand just isn't enough. And you could see he was disappointed to let that goal go in. But I mean, he was brilliant again yesterday, and fantastic game from him. Despite losing 4-0, it sounds crazy to say, but he really was brilliant. And just after the game, he had an interview there and just said, we won't be moping around with our heads down. We'll come in tomorrow, evaluate the game. Mistakes happen. We've had a 10-match unbeaten run with 8 of those in the league, so hopefully we can start another run like that. And fair play to him. He comes out, like a man, and a lot of the players going over there clapping the fans, thanking them for the support. Of course, any of you who do go to these games and support Arsenal home and away, I mean, fantastic job for you guys. Always sitting at home, obviously in America, don't have the opportunity to go to these games, and hearing you guys sing and chant, it's I love it, man. It's just fantastic. I love hearing the fans, especially away. They're always showing their support, man. 10 out of 10 for the fans there yesterday at Anfield. A couple different, I thought the change that he made, bringing Ainsley Maitland-Niles on quite early in the game and taking Sambi Lokonga off, I thought was a pretty smart move. And you see these things from Mikel. He tends to be trying sort of new things now, and he's not really stuck on a certain substitution. And obviously he has a knack to bring off Lacazette and bring on Odegaard. And I think really, Jurgen Klopp, I think really had it figured out. And you can kind of say, okay, Mikel tends to make this substitution around the 60th minute. So, here's our game plan until then. And here's what Lacazette is strong at. And I think really Aubameyang didn't do much. Bukayo Saka, not much. Emile Smith-Rowe really couldn't get on the ball. And Lacazette was doing what he could. But I thought the midfield was, just absent. I mean, Thomas Partey not really in the game. You have to ask, is he fully fit? Didn't really do much. Honestly, he was really not on the ball. And just absent, man. Ainsley Maitland-Niles went on and I thought it made a bit of a difference, did all right. Very good at breaking up the play and sort of, really starting to find himself comfortable in the midfield here at Arsenal. So I was sort of happy to see that change was being made, and Mikel was saying, look, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's going to come on here and maybe break up the play a little bit more than Sambi Lokonga can do. He's more of a ball-playing midfielder, I think, and fair play. He puts in a couple tackles and, good at winning the ball. He's a young player. Look, I just thought that substitution was pretty interesting from the manager. So, yeah, I mean, not too much else to say, man. It was a decisive victory from a very, very good side. So, important to get a result now against Newcastle. That's about it, man. That's about all I have. So I appreciate you guys if you've made it this far. If you've watched any of my videos, I appreciate it, man. I love doing this. It's fun. I enjoy it. I don't know what the outcome may be. I will, however, say, like I always do, I have an open invitation to any fans who would like to come on and talk about Arsenal, talk about the U.S. men's team, World Cup football in general. Send me a message on Twitter, direct message or just a tell on Twitter, a YouTube comment, whatever you feel is appropriate. Let me know if you ever want to get on and chat about anything football related. So, guys, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you when I see you.